this might be the only way to utilize Possessed Animancer effectively. Today we're going to be answering the question, how good was the buff to Animancer Warlock really? Because if you take a look at what's going on the front page of HSReplay, Warlock, as I said in the previous video, is still kind of just in the middle in terms of overall win rate, but I would say that on ladder, you are more likely to run into Warlock than most classes right now, not just because Quest Warlock is running rampant and super good, but just Warlock strategies, at least in my opinion, seem to be the most fun archetypes to be playing right now. There's a lot of diversity within the archetypes, and even within the Egg Warlock archetype, there seem to be a lot of sub-archetypes underneath that, and that's exactly what we're going to be looking at today, is what exactly is going under the hood of Warlock decks, because it seems that Egg Warlock and Quest Warlock are absolutely everywhere right now. But there's still a lot of players that are trying to figure out what is the best version of Egg Warlock, and there's even a list that has popped up that I don't think is in this data, but RecVam ended up posting a list of Egg Warlock that not only ran the Archdruid of Thorns, but also ran Abusive Sergeant in order to maximize the value out of your eggs, and I believe this deck has like a super good win rate against Death Knight and other slow decks like that. But if you're not really interested in going full in on the egg and you want something else to kind of give you a little bit of life, if you keep scrolling down at the Diamond through Legend decks that are available on HSReplay, you will eventually encounter the Egg Warlock that has an Ultra Gigasaur. And in my previous video talking about Egg Warlock, I alluded to myself playing this deck, and you know what? I actually gave it a try. In top 1000 Legend, this deck is not really all too common, so this is definitely something that you're going to see on the way to Legend or in the lower ranks of Legend, but there is some honest-to-God data that is backing up this deck right here. I have isolated only decks that run Ultra Gigasaur as well as the Possessed Animancer, and this is pretty much what it's looking like for the Animancer Warlock. There are some decks that have like a 40-41% win rate that just aren't doing that well, but the list that we highlighted in our previous video is not only the most successful variant of this deck, it is also the most popular. So, you know, most popular, best win rate feels like a good idea to start trying this deck, especially if you are someone that is interested in Animancer type decks or cube decks in general. So I also decided to check HS Guru to see if there is any other list that might be worth checking out, and immediately on the front page, there's another Egg Warlock that runs the Animancer as well as Meadow Striders and Ultra Gigasaur. My deck that we are going to be highlighting has the Beached Whale as well as the Asphyxiodon, so if you want to change the Beats package, that is 100% up to you. But something else that I really wanted to point out is that people are really starting to experiment with a Possessed Animancer in every single way, to where there's even a Dorian Warlock deck right here. Dorian Warlock with Ultra Gigasaur and Asphyxiodon on top of having Possessed Animancer and the typical Gam combo, which I'm not really sure how exactly they do this. I'm pretty sure it is all in on Saladrassil being corrupted, so that way you can shuffle the Agam back into the deck. Then you use Dorian to draw a spell from the deck, and then I think that's how you pop off the combo. Sounds like a lot of mana, and sounds like a lot of setup, and it might be worthwhile if you like this type of Warlock deck. But this is exactly what I am talking about with Warlock. There are so many different avenues to play this class right now, and it's just like, I just love everything that the Zerg package has done for Warlock. I really wish that other packages would feel this good and this much fun. And just Warlock is just a great class right now. There's a reason why I've been playing a lot of it. But looking ahead at the actual stats of this deck, it looks like it's pretty respectable at Diamond through Legend, but even at top 1000 Legend, this deck, even after 52 games, is still repping a 55% win rate. So there's a lot of Warlock decks you could be playing right now if you guys are at all interested, and every single one of these deck codes that I have talked about will be in the description below. So let's actually talk about the list that is going to be in the game clips coming up ahead, because according to HSReplay, this is the best version of the deck, but I'm not gonna lie. Having a Meadow Strider in this deck actually might make a lot of sense, because there are some times where you do draw your Patches minions, and luckily with Meadow Strider, you could always shuffle it back into the deck one way or another, and especially if you make copies of it with Carnivorous Cubicle, there might be some potential for this. But the beasts that we have decided to run in this deck in particular are 2 Ultra Gigasaurs, 1 Asphyxiodon, and 1 Beached Whale, so that way there are some good defensive options against things like aggro paladin. If you play a beached whale against an aggro paladin with lifesteal, they are just going to absolutely hate you. And that's the reason why this is in the deck, is because if you play Possessed Animancer on 4 or on turn 5 and then immediately kill it and get a beached whale, there are just some aggro decks that get completely locked out and you essentially get a second wind, because don't forget, the Possessed Animancer gives your beast lifesteal. So having that taunt lifesteal combination can be very good. I'm not the biggest fan of Asphyxiodon. I would rather cut Asphyxiodon than Beached Whale just because of the stats that come with the whale, but the reason why Asphyxiodon is not that bad is because, you know, at the end of the turn, it has lifesteal, it deals some damage, it'll hopefully impact the board one way or another, and then your opponent actually has to trade into it. So it's not the worst card in the world, but it's definitely the worst beast in my opinion, just because there are a lot of ways that this card can just not be successful. But the rest of the deck is pretty much just Egg Warlock without cards like Drain Soul, without Corpse Sickles, because you are, with this deck, you are an Animancer deck first and an Egg deck second. The reason why the Egg complements this deck perfectly in almost every single way, in my professional opinion, is because the Egg will most of the time give you a minion on the field for you to activate your Dissolving Ooze combo. Because the real power of this deck is by playing your Animancer as quickly as possible, having an Egg on the field, and when your Animancer activates a Death Rattle, hopefully pulling an Ultra Gigasaur, if this minion survives, your opponent can't deal with it, you have 14 damage plus another 14 ready with the Devolving Ooze as early as turn 6. So that is a powerhouse combo right there, and as you will see in the game clips coming up ahead, there are some people that don't respect the Animancer and don't respect the possibilities of what can come out of it. So this could easily just be a deck that has its win rate bolstered by people not playing around it properly. If you're gonna kill the Animancer, you better have an answer for the beast that might be Ultra and Giga popping out of it. But as far as the Mulligan is concerned, the only thing that really matters in a deck like this is pretty much Possessed Animancer. This is a card that you want to give yourself the chance of getting it every single time off of your Mulligan, so you're pretty much just going to full Mulligan for the Animancer. Other cards you can debatably keep are going to be your Holy Egg Bearer, your Ultralisk Cavern, your Nidus Worm against slower matchups, and of course your Release the Navigator, especially if you are on the play. But this is a deck very similar to Barnes decks, where it is all about that scam combo essentially. But in my opinion, this card and this deck are very effective and very consistent, because I was able to play above 20 games and maintain a 64% win rate. Even with a 0-3 loss at the very end, we were still repping 70-60% almost the entire time. So if you are looking for an excuse to play a more fun Hearthstone deck that also has a pretty decent win rate, then this is definitely the deck for you. And don't forget, if you do enjoy this style of content, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel, so that way your Possessed Animancer will always pull out the perfect minion that you need every single time. So thank you very much for making it to the end of this deck breakdown, and we'll see you for the next video. I can't stand using Reddit, not gonna lie. Ulticon, Reddit's always about how you utilize it. Why are you reading the rage bait articles that you know you're not gonna get anything out of? If it's not something you care about, don't engage with it. That is really, like, that is social media 101. If you don't fucks with it, don't fuck with it. If you don't like someone, why are you telling them that you don't like them? What do you get out of that? It's different to say that someone is wrong, or like they make a statement and they make an opinion, that statement, and you tell them that they're wrong. But if it's just someone, like on the Reddit, for example, you have a ton of people that will just get really mad at the game, and then they'll be like, I'm not the problem, you're the problem. And there are so many people that engage with that kind of conversation. And it's like, bro, from the very beginning, the guy wasn't gonna have a sound conversation. Reddit is worthless. The good things get reposted on Twitter, anything. The rest is filler. But Clark, I really want you to know that I hate your bones. How am I gonna make you feel bad? Yeah, you don't have your rage bait content anymore. You don't have your rage bait content anymore. You're gonna have to milk someone else for that.
The Citadel stands.
I mean, hey, dude, you could rage bait me with other games. I mean, dude, I'm not gonna lie. If it wasn't for Warlock, I don't think I would have enjoyed any part of this expansion. Do you ever tempo Taurus on 4? Not without reason. If it is always this into potentially make copy. Okay, I did not make copy. I guess attack into, boom, copy. Like, you'd never want to play Dark Morrow until you have, like, a value you can get from it. When you're popping off with location, if this survives on the field, then you play Dark Morrow. And this is one of those decks where it's like, if I play Animancer, most people just don't mess with the minion. They don't touch it. Why last stream? Because I am burnt out of Hearthstone. I'm not really enjoying the process anymore. And because of the actions of the balance patches and the mini set, I know for a fact that Hearthstone's not going to be enjoyable until the next expansion drops. At least not for me. So I'm not enjoying the game on a fundamental level. And because of that, I need to take a break. Okay, I have an idea. I'm going to wait on the Animancer one turn. So that way I can go boom into make copy into kill minion. And this deck is just gonna sit here doing a whole bunch of nothing. So I'll make big board out of nowhere. Clark is gonna start streaming parallel. I'm not that desperate. I'd sooner quit streaming than I would ever play an NFT game. But I'll be doing variety and music and a bunch of other stuff. I'm not 100% aware of what I'm gonna be doing yet. I'm still trying to figure that part out. Just know that I'm gonna be taking the first step to actually, you know, doing what I want. Oh boy! Okay, speaking of what I want, look at that whale. Wait, that's not Ultra Gigasaur. I have 3 different beasts in the deck, 4 copies of beasts. We have a whale, we have Asphyxiodon, and we have 2 Ultra Gigasaurs. And now we have a chance of pulling the Ultra Gigasaur. So, gimme, gimme, gimme. Oh wait, I'm an idiot. I could have played Dark Morrow. You know, I don't need the Dark. We'll just go ahead and do it this way. And boom, there you go. I mean, technically misplayed. Technically misplayed. Probably more ways than once. But at the same time, what is he gonna do? What are you gonna do? You have 8 corpses. Corpse Explosion doesn't begin to deal with this. This deck does not have Pyro quality. That's a good move. Okay. To be fair, that is a good move. And that does stop my Cubit to make double Dinosaur play now. Which one is more effective? More of these or more of these? Oh, I guess I have to go with these then. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Get him, my children. Ah! The biggest amount of stats you've ever seen! Ah! Delicious.
Go forth on swift wings.
I think the game took away too many creative freedoms stacked on top of each other. We need to reestablish class identities. There's so many things that we need to fix, man. There's like at least 5 different aspects of Hearthstone that need fixing right now. Oh, yo. Wait a minute. Wait. Whoa. Chill. 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 I mean, not gonna lie, man. That didn't really do that much. He does have 9/9s, though. But I get more whales. I get 1 more whale. Consume would have been enough if it was in my hand right now. Because then I could Hellfire, Consume, Dissolving Ooze to the 8. I don't really have that good of a turn here, actually.
My God, how did he do it?
5,
Clark
8.
HELLSCREAM, the best
1
Hearthstone
damage
player
off
that ever
from like
lived.
actually killing these things, and I can't play Hellfire for 1 other thing.
Is close at hand.
My God. Clark HELLSCREAM, the best Hearthstone player that ever lived.
Cursed Catacombs can go, that's fine. Get another whale. I mean, dude, these whales are kind of massive, not gonna lie, right?
Voices, please.
Oh, it's upsetting. I did crack one part of the egg, so I can play Umbra to get it back, but at this point, I'm just gonna kill him, right? Do you ever run Crazy Alchemist? No. Bones are infinitely better. If I was copying Ultra Gigasaurs right now, we would have had lethal. And it's still lethal either way. Remember how he silenced the egg and he thought that the egg was done? This is why you don't care about Crazed Alchemist. Crazed Alchemist can only really work with the beasts. They need to support the archetype that they introduced, not create a new one every expansion. I kind of disagree with that. You need a mix of both. You need to support archetypes that exist while bolstering new archetypes that people want to play. Because the big issue is when you support an archetype that no one wants to play. Like Aggro Paladin, for example. If you're playing, if you're making cards for Aggro Paladin every single expansion, and your players don't want to play Aggro Paladin, you're not making new cards. You're not making cards. You know what I mean? This isn't to say that Aggro Paladin can't exist, but this is more so to say that if all you do is support the one archetype that players don't want to play, how can you expect them to care about the new cards that come out? If all you're going to do is make Aggro Paladin really good. Like, you gotta have the right mix. You gotta have new stuff, and you have to have powerful stuff. And in order to have powerful stuff, you need multiple cards that are compounding on an archetype to make it better. You know? Doesn't trade. Interesting. Okay, we could play Eat the Imp just to get the value from the table flip. Because playing Egg here kind of puts us in a weird position.
Don't crack it!
Alright. I don't want them making archetypes, I want cool cards. I mean, making archetypes is how things like Cube Warlock become a thing. I want them to make archetypes. Making archetypes is how you make things like, Shutterwalk Shaman. Taunt Druid. Making archetypes is absolutely fine. Perfect.
Job's done.
Now he's just got a 2/2, right? Alright. Maybe play some Hades 2 this week. Oh shit, that does come out, doesn't it? Oh, I'm gonna have to play Hades. Damn it, I still need to get through Hollow Knight, man. How's TNT having the same problem? They have rotating pool of champions that has not clashed with previous expansions. I am not smart enough to know enough about TFT in order to have an opinion on it. However, is it ever at least 1 mana copy? And then do this and then like play like Consume? I mean, if I just play Animancer, he trades and then plays the Poisonous. That actually is a problem. You know what? Is it ever just Elise into do this? No one is playing Kindred except for Paladin. I feel like the only people really playing Kindred is, yes, Paladin, but also Quest Hunter. Because that 5-drop. Okay, there's the copy. Copy spell? Or is it ever just copy 2/1? No, it's copy spell. Go ahead and wait. Oof. Obviously, I can clear with this, with Hellfire into this, but I'm wondering if there's anything else that's worth doing. Egbed Hellfire? Nah, we definitely need to kill these minions, otherwise we're taking a bunch of unnecessary damage. The next turn, I can boop, make copy into boop, hopefully bring out something that's going to be threatening. If I hit another Consume, I can... Oh, come on! What? We actually run 2 of these. Alright, hold on. Do this, make copy, see what happens first. Maybe until, like, Conflagrate. And if we don't find a random spell, we can do this for another thing. Oh, no, I didn't want to draw that.
I feel their spirit. I feel their spirit.
Endgame? Wait, hold on a minute. This thing's a demon. Oh my god, we're actually looking now. Asphyxiadon? Whale, okay. So now we kill this one. So that way poisonous doesn't invalidate this. He's gotta start throwing Murlocs at us now. I mean, I wonder if the Asphyxiadon, or if the Ultra Gigasaur would have been better. Wait, hold on.
Burning within.
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me, bro. Was kind of worried about that. I wanted to be able to trade into a Poisonous if at all possible, but that taunt, like, I need to connect his damage. Like, he's at 7 life. I have to take this while I can. Because now I can play Umbra. I can bring out the Asphyxiadon from my deck. Doesn't this deck synergize with Edge and Umbra? It kind of does. You're essentially enabling a different part of the deck, and you can win a lot faster because of it. However, I might be losing here.
My people will regret their best.
Might be dead here, depending on what this hit. Ah, crap. Wait, hold on. Oh, damn it, Whiteless. The worst part about this is the fact that I'm just gonna lose to Grunty now. Oh yeah, this thing's technically a demon. Okay, yeah, I can't win now. God damn it, bro. We were so fucking close. If I had a second Hellfire, I could maybe get there. Wait, hold on a minute. I could still win with because of this cover. Wait, I have a chance. If I could discover a damage card, I win. I can't believe he didn't have more damage. There's the Hellfire. All right, come on. Papa needs a miracle. G fucking G, bro. Look at that juicy 100% that we are maintaining, yo. I mean, yo, dude, can we complain about Murloc Paladin or can we beat them? Which one would you rather do? I don't know, Chad. I think I'd rather, you know, put the power in my own hands. I also feel like Saljasil could have been lethal too, but I'm kind of interested to see how this egg Druid will do. I gave him a card. What, with the Conflagrate? I mean, I don't think that's the reason why I lost. Like, I had to do that play to stay alive. I mean, it's kind of funny how there are times where it's like, yes, give me egg on 3. But I'm not gonna lie, dude. The possessed Animancer is way more important on 5 than it is egg on 3 in this deck. Like, if anything, the egg is just a constant minion on the field for you to be able to spit out bones onto with the dissolving ooze. So I'm gonna try and tap the Animancer, but... Well, I mean, I would say that it's not correct. The reason why it wasn't correct is because all he had to do was just control me. If he controlled me, I was dead in like 2 or 3 turns because of fatigue. And he took such an unnecessary chance, and he got rewarded for it. Like, I mean, I'm the one that looks like an idiot. But yeah, I don't think it was the correct thing to do. It's correct in hindsight, but the song calls for another deck, Clark. Cue up the Velen Mask. Like, I hit Legend with it this season, but like, know what? It is so funny how many comments I got on that video being like, wow, bro, I crafted this deck and went 0-10 with it. This deck sucks. And I feel like it's a combination of people probably didn't play it correctly, as well as, oh, there we go. There's the Animancer. It's a combination of people didn't play it correctly, as well as there are bad matchups in lower Legend, and I will give them that. But I promise you that if you went 0-10 with that deck, there had to be a line that you missed. Okay, so here's the funny thing about this matchup. Most people don't even kill the minion. But now that he has the rushers, it's still not enough. he thought it was gonna...
The multitudes cry.
And now I can cube it! Oh my
The
god.
Lich King moths are suffering.
If only I could make a copy of it, dude. Oh, if only I could make a copy of it. Okay, so I was gonna say that most times people don't even kill the animated, the possessed Animancer, so you can just easily cube it and then get all the beasts out of your deck. But this is one of the rare times where someone thought he could kill the beast that came out, and in all fairness, if it was the Asphyxiodon, it would have been killed. I think he even had enough damage for the whale, right? No, he had 18 damage, right? No, 12 plus 5, so 17. So yeah, he didn't even have enough to kill the whale. There you go, dude. And against aggro in particular, if you throw out an Animancer turn 4, turn 5, you kill it, and then it pulls out a 420 with lifesteal and taunt, that is a big wall that a lot of decks cannot deal with.
Before mine.
Aggro Paladin, for example, really hates that combo. Rogue really hates that combo if they don't have Dubious. In fact, my first game with this deck... Here, let me show you. My first game with this deck. Is this it? No.
Job's done.
Is this it? Yes. Against a rogue. Against a rogue, turn 5, 420 with lifesteal, they immediately conceded. That's why Beached Whale. If you don't draw Animancer, specifically pull Whale Gigasaur, Chemist does nothing and doesn't even deal 30 damage. Exactly. Chemist doesn't help you win the game. The Ooze does. The Ooze is the card slot that Crazed Alchemist would be in if Ooze didn't exist. Ooze infinitely better in every conceivable way. When Animancer is more important than Egg, one Egg tutor enough. This deck is taking the Egg and putting it in the back seat. This is an Animancer deck first and Egg deck second. And the reason why is because you have less ways of popping the Egg. And you're more dependent on your big minion value because Ultra Gigasaur into Ooze by like turn 6 is such a real win condition when it pops off. So Animancer is number 1 in this deck. Egg is number 2. Case in point. Case in point. Is it? Okay, so I'm trying to justify not playing Barnes. The only justification is red card. And if he red cards now, that's fine. Absolutely fine. So just play the Animancer, don't think about it. Just Animancer on 5. Nice to have Elise in your hand now. Yeah, Catacombs could have gotten me that.
What enticing power.
Brother, come on, you have to have a red card. If you don't have a red card, what do you do? Okay, there we go, there we go. All right, like, this makes sense. If he didn't have the red card, this would have been omega stupid. But even now, it's good that he played it now. Because now this minion's gonna stick around. And there's my ooze. I am already oozing.
The best Hearthstone player that ever lived.
All right. What games will be playing? Today we're only doing Hearthstone. I have a meeting later today that I had to kind of plan my day around. And there might be a possibility that I pop on stream later tonight for some more Hollow Knight. Because I really want to play all the Hollow Knight. What? What? This is not your turn. This right here is why you are an Animancer deck first and an Egg deck second. Right here. And this matchup is actually like really bad for us. I always lose Egg versus Starship DK or Demon Hunter. But at the same time, this guy had like nothing this entire game. By far the worst draws I've ever seen. Didn't even draw the freaking crystal. Cube it up? No, I don't need to cube it up yet. Eliza for the eggs was the idea? Yeah, but again, ask yourself the question. During that last game, what would Eliza have accomplished? It wouldn't have done anything. The only time that Eliza really does anything is if you're going fully for the egg, right? I think that this is one of those decks that has the right mix of everything. But I usually say that whenever you combine archetypes, or you combine packages of cards that usually don't complement each other, you're usually trying to boil the ocean instead of trying to just get a pot of water and then boil that one at a time, right? But sometimes you find these weird, I don't know how else to put it, but bastardized decks where somehow mixing the archetypes is actually exactly what you want to do. And somehow, this is one of those decks. Yo, what's going on, Kongster? Yeah, I'm doing all right. I had a gig yesterday. I got kind of exhausted afterwards. My sleep schedule got all... Archer of Thorns works well in Animancer Egg deck. I've seen that there's a Requiem deck where it's Archer of Thorns as well as Abusive Sergeant in the deck now. And that's pretty whoa. I was very surprised to see that deck have as high of a win rate as it does.
I remember this place well.
I don't know. Maybe Egg Warlock is better than we think it is with cards we would never suspect. Because I completely forgot about Abusive Sergeant. I forgot that was in the game. And it's just another 1-mana card to help pop the egg. And it's like, that would be another great example on why Eliza is bad. You know? Eliza just really doesn't help the weaknesses of the deck, and you have to be able to account for the deck's weaknesses. Okay, what the fuck is this song? Clark, what do I think of Egg Frosty K? I don't know why you would do that. Regular Frosty K is probably better. I don't understand what adding Egg to the Frosty K really does to help the deck get better. Because you need to be tempo oriented and you need to freeze at the right time. I think Egg just slows down your game plan. Been unimpressed with the meta recently. Finally could afford a mini set. Can you suggest some good but fun decks? I hate to say it, man, but Egg decks are the only thing I'm really interested in right now for the mini set. There's Egg decks, there's this Animancer deck, which I think is actually kind of cool. But generally speaking, things are very unimpressive right now. This might be a little bit risky, but I'm still doing it. Like, there's only so many decks that I can talk about. And I'm going to be talking about, like, maybe 2-3 more deck ideas. And then I'm taking a break. Because I just don't know what else to do. Usually, it's like, during the first week, there's, like, a surplus of ideas that I could pull from. And it's like, originally, there was, like, the Taka, like, deck, right? The Shutter Block Taka combo. And then people realized very quickly, that kind of deck is just way too slow in a lot of instances, you know? And especially with Egg bringing back Silence, like, I'm gonna make sure that Taka would never see play, you know?
I have but little time.
Playing for years, Legend for the first time yesterday, thanks to a Clark, thanks to a deck alert from Clark. HELLSCREAMing changes live by making them Legend. Ooh, I need that as a, I need that as a brand slogan. I'm glad that you're enjoying the game, though, man. I'm glad that you're having fun one way or another, and you're finding your way to stay sane while playing this game, because it's very difficult to stay sane while playing Hearthstone right now. So gosh darn it, you're finding the way. You know, so you know something, chat? Like, I really pushed myself yesterday. Like, I did this gig, I came home, and then I went running with the dog. And then I made some food. And then after that, I was just depleted. I thought I could do more at that point, and I had all this energy to run and stuff, but as soon as I sat down with the dog and started getting comfortable, just snooze town. Snooze town with South Park in the background. Figure it out. What gig is at 7 a.m.? Not that many. It was a NCAA like conference event, like some kind of gathering for a lot of people that work in the higher echelons of the NCAA. The literal CEO of the NCAA was at this event. The literal CEO and people on the board. And essentially what we were doing was like basketball pep band music and then playing the NCAA theme when they wanted it. We also played the IU fight song because there's a lot of IU alumni at this event. And it was just, dude, it was fancy. It was nice. Dude, their breakfast was eggs, bacon, a hash brown, and like on a little piece of toast. And it was it is the fanciest way that I'd ever seen eggs and bacon. They had the little piece of toast, like this little thing. They had like almost like a scoop of egg that like looked perfectly cooked. That had a bunch of like onions and like other stuff in it. Like it was nice. It was a very nice event. I don't want to count, but I'm gonna have to count. I don't have ooze, so I don't know why I'm counting because I don't have lethal. If I tap into the ooze, I do have lethal though. Oh! Okay. All right. Yeah, baby. Woo. Well, sometimes this is the thing I like about the deck. You know, I didn't get Animancer. As I said, Animancer first. Sometimes you just win by playing egg. Let's go, dude.